Good morning and welcome to our meditation. And good morning to all who are joining us online today. Thank you for being with us as we connect in consciousness. My name is Judy Poteet and I am your practitioner for the day. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. I just did. So that we may have uninterrupted experience together. This meditation is a blend of spoken word and silence. Silence to allow you to contemplate what's been spoken. It's accompanied by beautiful music and will last approximately 20 minutes. For the past several months, I have been in the midst of turbulent times. Very appropriate for today's topic. As a coping skill, as a way to thrive, I found myself using several three-letter phrases as affirmations or mantras to keep myself present, focused, and effective, rather than having my mind spin out of control with fear, worry, and doubt. One of my mantras was breathe, just breathe. This kept me mindful of the present moment. The other mantra or affirmation I heard during meditation several times, and I continued to use it throughout the day, and that was stay the course. This one I use to remind myself to take the next step. Today we're going to meditate on or contemplate several other useful three-letter phrases. These can serve as reminders, as a spiritual practice, as guides along our path. So I invite you to take a deep breath as you begin to relax yourself, clear your mind, recognize and welcome the support that is cradling your body, whether it's the chair or if you're online, whatever is cradling you, holding you right now. You may want to close your eyes or soften your gaze to cut out the distractions. Feel the support and the protection of this safe space. Continue to relax as you observe and focus on your breath, allowing it to flow naturally as you inhale and exhale, feeling gratitude for each breath of life. As you continue to center and relax, allow the outer world, with all of its worries and strife, to melt into nothingness. Allow your body tension to simply melt away, noticing the limiting thoughts melting, the need to solve or fix melting, melting like ice melts in the warmth of the sun. Bring your awareness to your heart space. Be aware of your heart beating, pulsing, filling with love, joy, peace, compassion, and harmony. Bring to mind something that inspires gratitude, someone or something you appreciate, someone or something that you care about. It might even be an accomplishment you have made. Simply feel grateful. Be here now. I focus my attention on this present moment, recognizing the presence of the one almighty creative power, the one divine dynamic intelligence, the one unconditional, eternal, ever-present love. Breathe, just breathe, and be here now. Let it go. When the current problems or those of the past keep nagging me, I remember that I did the best I knew how at the time, and so did everyone else. And I forgive myself and others, and I let it go. With the problems in the present, I ask, what is mine to do? I do it, and then I let it go. I do the best I can right now, and the rest I turn over to the divine. I let it go. Life is good. Sometimes the messages of the world or how awful, terrible, difficult life is. I don't believe it. I listen to a higher power, and I know that life is good, and I claim it as good. Sometimes I need to look for the good, but it's there. There is good in every experience. There is light, even in the experience of the dark night of the soul. I look for it, and I am grateful, and I am blessed by the light. Life is good. Yes, I can. When there's something I want to do or explore, and it's something new and the path is unknown, the words, yes, I can, allow me to take the first step. And my first step signals to Spirit, the divine, to lead the way. There's usually a learning curve, so I do need to listen to the still small voice, act, and learn along the way. I don't worry about success or failure. I focus on doing the best I can with whatever is before me that day. Yes, I can. Play full out. This can go with yes, I can, or it can stand by itself. When I play full out, I become willing to take a risk, to put my full energy into consciously living my good life. I am fully present in the moment. I intentionally stretch myself, even if it makes me feel awkward or uncomfortable, which it usually does. And I give it my best effort, even when I'm tired and I want to quit. I play full out. I am blessed. I'm truly blessed by the presence within me, the presence of divine love, the dynamic power, the creative intelligence that I call God. I can recognize its presence at any moment of my life. I am truly grateful for the unlimited good that blesses myself, that blesses my life now and always. I am blessed. I love you. In fact, I love you unconditionally. That does not mean that I like or approve of everything everyone says or does. It does mean, however, that I know they emerge from the same source that I did, divine love. And I am determined to see the good, the God within. I'm determined to recognize our connection, our oneness. I love you. As our time is nearing close, I invite you to take a deep breath. Bring your awareness back to this time, this place. Allow your consciousness to be aware of the chair you're sitting on, of this present moment. You might want to move your arms or shoulders or some part of your body. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Namaste. This does conclude our meditation for today. Thank you for being with us. Our service begins at 10, which is approximately 10 minutes from now. So enjoy talking with each other, and we'll see you at 10 a.m. Thank you.
I wonder sometimes if this world's coming true, and try to imagine what would Jesus do, saying all is well and it's as it should be. It's easy when things are all pretty and clean. But when I think things aren't happening how they're supposed to, I try to imagine what would Jesus do. What would he say about the homeless and hungry? What would he do about the beggar and thief? What would he say to the drunk and drug addict, or the young girl selling herself on the street? Do you think he'd see heavenly perfection underneath their earthly shell? Through the veil of confusion to what is true, I believe that's what Jesus would do.
status quo.
If we could all embrace our Christ presence and learn to forgive 10 times and again, and in each phase see their divine essence, we could change the world without from within and realize heavenly perfection underneath each earthly shell. Through the veil of confusion to what is true, I believe that's what Jesus would do. I believe that's what Jesus would do.
If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. So I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things I've done. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. I'm letting go of the thoughts that do not make me strong, and I believe this way can feel the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, living my life easy and breezy, peace in my mind, peace in my heart, peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can walk through life pushing backwards. I have tried, but holy water was where at best, barely where my fingertips. Now I have to hold my breath, 'cause I'm swimming in a sea of it. It used to be a world out there, heaven second rate hand me down, but I walked up with the river in the air, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Yeah. Everything, everything, everything is holy now. Yeah. Read a questioning child's face and say it's not a testament. Well, that'd be very hard to say. See another new morning song and say it's not a sacrament. I tell you that it can't be done. This morning outside I stood and saw a little red-winged bird shining like a burning bush, singing like a scripture verse. It made me want to bow my head. I remember when church let out how things have changed since then, 'cause everything is holy now. Everything,
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. I'm Reverend Laura Hallett, and it is my pleasure to be the spiritual director here. What a beautiful day this is today. First off, aren't these TVs fabulous? Woo! Now, everybody can see everything. Thank you, Jim and Joe, and everyone that helped put this together. This has been a labor of love, and we are so thrilled to have it completed and up and available. Joe is working on all kinds of wonderful new media to put on there so that we have a whole experience. I walked into the sanctuary this morning with them on. I thought, the room looks bigger. How could it look bigger with TVs up there? But it was amazing. So I want to thank all of the guys that did that, especially for getting that up and ready and available to us. It's going to be a game changer for us, I think. So we are getting ready to kick off a wonderful new talk today, and gosh, I see new faces in here. I see some people I haven't seen before. Wonderful. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living. And I see a lot of faces that I love dearly here, faces that I haven't seen for a while even, so wonderful to see you too. And of course, we always want to acknowledge those faces that we can't see, the people that join us on YouTube, our YouTube channel. If you would, turn and wave at the camera back there. We broadcast everything that we do here on our wonderful YouTube channel. You just saw a brand new commercial for that. If you haven't subscribed to it yet, please go and do that. It doesn't inundate you with messages or anything like that, but you might get notified when there's something new that gets posted. We broadcast all of our services on there. We rebroadcast them later on. We also do all of our meditations. You had that beautiful meditation this morning from Judy. All of those are up on our YouTube channel. In fact, our meditations are the most watched things that we have on there. And then, of course, our music ministry, we have spiritual soundscapes with a lot of our beautiful video and so forth that Joe has put together and brought to us. So if you haven't done so yet, take a chance and check out our YouTube channel. CSLGLV Media is what you look for. So we're going to kick it off this morning.
You and me.
You and me, all right. The words will be up on the screen. Go ahead and stand.
One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. I'm shining from the inside out, I'm so happy, I just want to shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life, one life, one love, one life, one life, one love, one life, one life, one love, one life, one life. Break it down. Keep on shining.
shining from the inside out. I'm so happy, I just wanna shout. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is. One life living as you and me, one life shining as you and me, one love loving as you and me, 'cause God is all there is.
Good morning, everybody. At this time, greet your neighbor if you're comfortable. That looks great here.
What a wonderful way to greet everyone this morning. It's beautiful to watch. So as we shift focus here a little bit and enter into our more contemplative time, I'm going to invite up our practitioner of the day, Judy Petit, who's going to give us our affirmation and our invocation, accompanied by Justin.
Good morning. Our affirmation. Okay. I think it's short enough we can read it together, especially since it's on the screen. Ready? There is no greater power than spirit to live through me.
Is ever seeking to manifest itself through you. forever breathing through you and me. Ooh, the one. Join me now. The one is ever seeking to manifest itself through you. Glorious power forever breathing through you and
I am so grateful to know, to recognize, to embrace the one seeking to manifest itself through you and me, even in turbulent times. So grateful to know this presence is always, constantly, and consistently here, now, present, in this moment. Expressing itself through its creation. So I'm so grateful that we can come here today together, recognizing this oneness, recognizing its presence as individuals in unity. I know this service is blessed, as is each one of us in this room. The music, the message, the prayer, the presence. I am truly grateful. And so it is.
all right, let's sing together now. The one is ever seeking to manifest itself through you. Glorious power forever breathing through you and me.
How beautiful. Thank you, Judy. Thank you, Justin. It's lovely. We are amazingly blessed today to have with us for the first time a new musical featured artist. I want to bring up Karen Jones to sing with us today. She's got a beautiful voice. I heard her practicing, and we are so excited to have her with us. Karen, thank you.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure to be here in your beautiful space and to see such beautiful smiles and energy from beautiful people, apparently. I'd like to start by having a bowl that sings. I work with singing bowls often, and I find that the sound in and of itself begins to relax everybody, including active children. I invite you to close your eyes and let us all take a nice deep breath in through our nose and hearts. Exhale through your mouth and heart. Inhale through your nose and heart. Exhale through your mouth and heart. One more deep inhale through your nose and heart. And exhale through your mouth and heart. Focusing on your heart. I invite you to think about what you're grateful for today. And place that gratitude right in your heart. And imagine your heart as a big ball of light. This beautiful heart that is a portal to God, to Spirit. We're going to send out beams of gratitude to all those people, places, and things that we're truly grateful for today. Breathing through our hearts as God breathes through us. Gratitude pouring from our hearts. Even in the midst of great change, even in the midst of great chaos, we know that we are being guided to greater and better things. That we are never disconnected, that we are always connected to Source, to God, and to each other. Allowing that gratitude to spread from our hearts to fill our bodies. Allowing that light to fill our bodies. Allowing that light to expand out, to fill this room, to fill this neighborhood, to fill the city, to fill the state, to fill our beautiful country, to fill the world. And let us take one more deep breath in. And exhale and return. And you can open your eyes. And let the music carry you, knowing that everything's going to be okay. That change is inevitable, but we are never alone, and the future is bright. Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone must change. Nothing stays the same. The young become the old. Mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing stays the same. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. Wounded hearts will heal, and never much too soon. Everything must change. The young become the old, and mysteries unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. Nothing and no one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Ooh, rain comes from the clouds, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. And God can hear you pray, He listens to what you say, loving you more and more each day. Rain comes from the clouds, and sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Everything must change. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you. So we are working this month of July with the theme Facing Our Challenges, and today's my talk title is Thriving in a Turbulent Times. Anybody feel like we're in turbulent times? You know, I was thinking as I was driving in, I've lived a few years more than half a century, and I can't think of any time that felt as turbulent. Of course, you know, when there were turbulent times in Vietnam and things like that, I was a little too young to recognize it, but it just seems to me that this is some of the worst that we've experienced, especially this sense of divisiveness and separation that seems to be going on. As I was preparing for my talk this week, I always look at my calendars and stuff like that, and you know, I have the international holidays and things on there. Well, today happens to be Dharma Day. Dharma Day is the day that Buddha, Gautama Buddha, gave his very first sermon. It's where he introduced his Four Noble Truths. The celebration is one of the highest holy days in the Buddhist tradition, where they begin to look at these and remember what those Four Noble Truths were, and how Buddha talked about practicing them. He gave this sermon in a place called Deer Park, and it was to 5 of his ascetic friends. Buddha had left his life as a royal prince and became an ascetic, and a person who refused to eat very much, didn't take any money, lived very austere life, and just they said he was trying. At one point, he was trying to be thin enough that he could see his spine through the front of his stomach. That's how thin he wanted to become, because of this was supposed to be the path to enlightenment, to be this ascetic. Anyway, he had 5 friends that he was giving this lecture to. This was right after he had had his moment of enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. And so in the Four Noble Truths that Buddha talked about in that first sermon are, the first one is there is only suffering. Suffering exists in the world. Suffering is caused by our desires, our cravings, our wants, and so forth. There is a state that is beyond cravings and desires and suffering. And the way to get that state is called nirvana. The way to get to that is to follow the 8 Noble Truths. So the 8 Noble Truths, just give you a quick idea here, because this actually does lead right into my talk. So the right view means to look at things from a point of view of non-judgmentalness, just to look at things and take them as at their face value and not try to assign some kind of meaning to it, but to take it as truth as you see it. The right intention is to do no harm. If we're going about things and acting with good intention, then we're not setting out to suffer for anyone to suffer from it. The right speech, what are the words that we're saying to ourselves and to others? I remember the first time I ever heard the phrase, "My name is not safe on your tongue," and how powerful that felt to me. It was like, oh my, what a way. They weren't saying it about me; they said it about someone else. But thank God. Thank God. Just saying. Fortunately, I haven't been accused of that too often. But it's like, yeah. Would I want that person who speaks that way to use my name in any context at all? Right action. Again, do what's right when we know what's right. And do things that do not cause harm. Right livelihood is to work in an ethical manner to make sure that our work reflects who we are. Right effort is to put our best into it, and to not be lazy and so forth, but to actually do what's right there. Right concentration has to do with how we think about things, whether we're being taking things in and not twisting them all around in our heads and getting them into something that it isn't meant to be. And then right mindfulness. And remember, mindfulness is about awareness, staying present in the moment, and not judging it. And so these are the 8 noble truths. I'm sorry, the eightfold path. The 4 noble truths, eightfold path. So this leads right into our idea of what we call in science of mind, law of mind in action. This isn't a phrase that gets used very often, but Ernest Brother Fenwick wrote a book that's actually called The Law of Mind in Action. And a lot of our thoughts come from this idea of the law of mind in action. So thoughts are things. What we think becomes our reality. My favorite, change your thinking, change your life. Or as Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. How we begin to take our minds to create our experiences. Our inner state of being, our consciousness, our way of being actually determines the experiences that we have in the outer world. And so that can be a really powerful thing to remember, especially when we're dealing with turmoil, with challenges and things like that. When we had, last weekend, when we had the assassination attempt, I know I instantaneously had some rather unproductive thoughts come to my mind. Just saying. And I remember thinking, it's like, oh, no, I don't really want to be thinking that. That is not the way that I want to have this be my experience here. But, I was coming from a reactionary place in my life there, and so I had to really begin to think about that. And that set me on a path of trying to figure out how we as religious scientists can make sense of the turbulent times that we're going through. And what has occurred to me over and over again is to go back to the heart. I was so blessed that Karen spent so much time with that intro meditation on the heart, because it is all about going back to our heart and coming from our heart. If we are following that eightfold path that Buddha talked about, we are doing everything by coming from our heart. We're not doing it coming from our head as much as we are thinking about our impact of our words, thinking about the impact of our actions, thinking about what we do and how it affects the world around us. And again, like I said, this ties right into this idea of the law of mind in action. Our minds are very creative. We talk about the creative process all the time with our science of mind symbol here that illustrates the way that spirit moves into form and form returns to spirit. We are thinking beings, and we can control what we think when we are very purposeful about it. And when we come from a place of heart-centeredness, I think there's a lot of things that can change in our lives based on that. Now, there are some really good practices. We talk about practices all the time here. There's some really good practices that we can do to help us watch our thoughts and to change our thoughts, to change the things that we're thinking and begin to have a different experience. One of those is our powerful affirmations, just like the one that we used here this morning. We start every Sunday service with a powerful affirmation written by one of our practitioners. Today's were by Christine Page, I believe. Yes, thank you. And so these powerful affirmations can help us begin to shift or remind us of the shift that we want to have take place in our life. And so they help us reprogram our mind, basically. And we can do all kinds of different things with that, repeating them over and over again. I know I used to wear a mala bracelet, one with beads on it, and I would repeat my affirmations the number of times that were on the bead. It was 27, so I would rotate that all the time. And I mostly did it while I was driving, which might sound like it wasn't safe, but it was really easy to just keep that going with my thumb as I was driving my car and repeating those affirmations to myself and shifting the way I believed about a lot of things in my life. And so that's one of our really powerful practices. Another one that we use is visioning and visualization. Actually, two different things. Visioning helps us catch a glimpse of what's possible, what we call God's highest idea for what is possible in the situation. And then visioning is more of a mental activity that helps us cement those ideas in our experience. We'll begin to create that visual picture of it in our mind and make it the way that we want it to be. You've all probably seen vision boards, or if nothing else, you've put a picture on your refrigerator to help remind you of whatever it was that you were wanting to have in your life. That's visualization, where we begin to keep fresh before us our moments of high resolve. Keep fresh before us those things that we want to experience in our lives. So as I said, I was doing a lot of research this week, and I kept being drawn to things about the heart. And so I went to one of my favorite books, which is written by Brene Brown. It's called Atlas of the Heart. Atlas of the Heart is a phenomenal book. If you haven't gotten a copy of it or you haven't read it before, I really suggest it. First off, it is a beautiful book. It would be like a coffee table book where you could leave it out on your coffee table and let people look at it. It's also a dictionary. In this book, she talks about 88 different emotions that we experience. I had no idea we had 88 different emotions, but apparently we do. And then what was interesting was the way that she explained what emotion was that we were feeling and how we moved from one emotion to another emotion in there. And so one of the chapters in the book is what to do when you're in challenge, what to do when your life is in turmoil, as we've talked about. And so I went to that chapter, and I found this wonderful graphic in there. She calls them the four horsemen, coming from the Christian New Testament of the book of Revelations, the four horsemen of the apocalypse. These are the four emotions that we often experience that cause the most damage in our existence. I know the graphic's a little small there, but so the first one is criticism. So when we have something happen in our life, the first thing that we often do is we criticize things about it. I know I found myself doing that after the assassination attempt, criticizing all kinds of things about that situation. It's kind of a go-to response. When we feel distressed, then we verbally attack or we blame others for whatever's going on in that situation. The next thing that she talks about is defensiveness. Sometimes when we're in these kind of situations, especially like that, what happened then, I automatically caught myself, and then I felt like I had done something wrong. And so I got kind of defensive about it. Where it's like I had to not prove that I was right, but I felt shame inside of myself for some of the things that I felt, and that led to this idea of defensiveness. So it's kind of victimizing ourselves. When we have perceived some kind of an attack, we feel like we've been victimized in that situation, and sometimes it's self-induced. Well, a lot of times, I think probably most times it's self-induced. And so it's one of those things that we can really begin to shift in our lives. Watch how we respond, going back to that eightfold path. What is our right speech? How are we responding to things? How are we looking at things in there? The next one is contempt, and I'm going to talk about contempt a little bit more in a moment, but contempt is one of the most damaging and negative forms of communications that we have. When we have contempt, we are looking down on another person, and we want to exclude them or ignore them when we feel contempt. Contempt often leads to disgust. Contempt is one thing in itself, but disgust is taking it to another level. To feel disgust, it comes from a sense that something is offensive in there. Contempt is, like I said, has this idea of we want to exclude something or hold it as not being worthy. But disgust takes it to a whole different level. And disgust then is what has become, from what I can see in our world, disgust is really rampant. I know when I think about certain political decisions that have been made in the recent years, I feel disgusted that anybody could think that way. And for me, it's even, like I said, it takes it even beyond contempt. It's something that I can't quite even begin to understand how that could ever come to be. So this idea of disgust here, we take those emotions that have kept us safe, feeling okay in the world, and we've turned it into an emotion that will make us sick, that will actually begin to deteriorate our society. And I believe that's what's happened a lot with all of this sense of separation. In the past, we were able to have a point of view that was different from somebody else's point of view, and yet we still got along. It's becoming more and more challenging to do that in these last few years here. And the thing that we take with disgust versus contempt is disgust is directed towards something, generally directed towards someone. We feel disgust towards someone's actions. We feel disgust towards someone's way of being. And all of this is triggered by the feeling that something is adversive, in other words, it's against us, or something is repulsive, I don't want it anywhere near me, or this is my favorite one, or toxic. How many times have you heard the phrase, this is a toxic environment that we're in right now? It's a word that's getting used a lot as we look at the situation that's been going on in our country and in other parts of the world. But this feeling of disgust, as I said, it's directed towards others. And there's a sense that we want to project that outwards in a way that can be harmful to other people. And when we do that, something gets triggered inside of us that tells us we're wrong. I shouldn't be thinking that. I know better than that. I don't treat people that way. I don't think about people that way. And so then we kind of become disgusted with ourselves. And so as humans, we've developed a little workaround for that, a little way of compensating or overcoming that internal feeling that we get when we feel disgust towards someone else, that I call it my shame button, that gets triggered when I feel like I've done something wrong or thought something wrong. We've developed this ability to dehumanize. And when we've developed this, developing this ability to dehumanize lets us off the hook. If I feel disgust for something, and I think that I shouldn't feel this way, if I can logically in my mind find something wrong with that other person, somehow find a way that they are inadequate or they're wrong or they shouldn't be, then I can let myself off the hook for feeling bad about it. Now, this is not a new concept. This has been around for, well, as long as history has told us. And we dehumanize people by the language that we use. The Nazis were really, really good at dehumanizing. Not only did they use their language, but they used images. The Nazis considered people of the Jewish faith to be rats. They called them rats. They created pamphlets and posters that depicted the Jewish people as rats. Imagine what that does to dehumanize. To make people buy into the story that they're telling. The Rwandans, not that many years ago, in their struggle, called the Tutsi people cockroaches. And what do you do with cockroaches? You got to stamp them out. Early settlers in America called the indigenous people savages. They weren't human, they were savages. And of course, those people who chose to enslave African Americans in our country used terms that were animalistic, like buck or mare, creating a sense that these people were less than human. It has been going on for millennia. This idea that we can say someone is less than us. We can dehumanize them. The most recent one is the term illegals. Using that to call people who are trying to get a better life in a different country. It's not even a noun, it's an adjective. And yet it's become a name for a group of people. Because they can dehumanize them. They can get them to get other people to buy into their belief that these people are less than than they are. If we can make somebody else less, sometimes we feel better. I remember telling that to my second and third graders when someone was picking on them in school. Well, they just do that because they feel bad about themselves. And so they're looking for a way to make themselves feel better. I'm not sure it helped. But I couldn't say it nowadays. We don't do that. We don't tolerate that at all, even. But language matters. This is what Brene Brown says. Language matters. It changes how we feel about ourselves and others. With the same amount of power, language can also be used to strip people of their dignity and their humanity. With awareness about how dehumanization works. With awareness about how dehumanization works comes in there twice, comes the responsibility to call out dangerous language when we recognize it. To call out that dangerous language when we recognize it. In other words, we don't tolerate it. This goes back to Buddha's right speech. What is the language that you're using? Where's the language coming from? Is the language used to harm or to help? How are we using it? You know, right now we are such a culture of media in all different forms. And what is media about? It's all about language. We're either reading it, or we're hearing it, or someone is speaking it. And so it's always an opportunity to look at the language that's being used and call it out when it's dehumanizing others. You know, I think so much of what the trauma is that we're experiencing right now, the turbulence that we're experiencing, comes from fear. And fear is all about, well, when we're afraid, we want to find someone to blame for that fear because we don't like that feeling of fear. It's uncomfortable. And so we look to find some reason for it, something that makes sense in our minds. And I think one of the most powerful things that people can do is to tell us what we're afraid of and then tell us who to blame. Because then we can have some place to put our emotions and our feelings. And then if we can dehumanize those people, then it becomes even easier for us to feel that way. So how do we get around this? How do we get to a place in our world, in our existence, where we can feel okay about this? So going back again to our science of mind principles, the first thing we need to do, again, this is a Buddhist technique too, is cultivate inner peace. When I feel distraught within myself, I look to the reason for that. And then I take steps to feel peaceful again. For me, it's always dropping into my heart and breathing from my heart, as Karen had us do, breathing in through our nose and our heart and out through our mouth and our heart. Imagine if everything that came out of your mouth came through your heart. How would your language change? If everything was filtered through our heart, how would we hear things differently? I breathe it in through my heart. I take it in through my heart. I think I could be a lot more forgiving to other people if I did that more often. If I filtered all the things that I hear in the world through my heart, how much different would my experience be? And if I filtered everything that I said through my heart, how much difference would the experience of other people be by the words that I say? Keeping ourselves heart-centered is a way that we can build resilience, cultivate that sense of inner peace. And most importantly, it's a way that we can be supportive to others. You know, here we have a beautiful, supportive community. And I know that there are lots of people in here that think differently than I do. And that's what makes it wonderful. And I know that we have a better time of it when we can hear things through our heart and speak things through our hearts. That everyone has a different experience with what is going on in the world when we keep ourselves heart-centered. We're all about practices here. I love this passage, and I couldn't find where I got it from, so it's anonymous. We are constantly working on ourselves, or we are working against ourselves. Which one do you want to be doing? Working for yourself, for your own enlightenment, for your own sense of inner peace, for your own contentment and well-being, or working against yourself? Remember, it always starts with us. We can't spread love out into the world if we can't feel it in ourselves. We can't be kind to other people if we can't find a place of kindness within ourselves. And so our job is to constantly work on ourselves. I happen to be one of those people that likes Facebook. So I found this meme about 3 days ago. So I thought I'd share it with you. Is that not the truth? I have been here 47 years. I have never seen a road without work on it. I'm just saying. What was it they told us years ago, that the Nevada state bird was the crane? All right, let's take this into prayer. I invite our spiritual practitioners to stand and surround us. Holding us in consciousness throughout the week is their pleasure and their joy. And if you would, just take a moment, take in a breath. And again, like Karen told us, breathe in through our hearts. And so right here and right now, I know that there is only one one power, one presence, one divine creative love intelligence that has brought forth everything into existence. I know this one as love, as the heart of all life. I know this one as a place of peace and understanding. I know that goodwill is the nature of this creative love intelligence, and that it is pouring itself forth through all of its creation. And because I know there's only one, I know that I am one with it. That love intelligence has brought me into existence to live itself through me, as me, in all that I am and all that I do. I know that I am simply a vessel for the perfection of the divine to manifest itself into form. And as I know this is true for me, I know this is true for everyone. For we are all that unique and perfect emanation of a love so powerful that it could do nothing but create more of itself over and over and over again. And so knowing this truth, I speak my word. I know that right here and right now, within each and every one of us, lies a heart of pure love. A heart that is beating itself into perfection and into expression through everything that we are and everything that we do. And I know that at any time that we forget this, we can simply drop back into that heart space, the center of our being, and feel that overwhelming love intelligence bringing itself forth. I know that this is a way to heal our world. I know that this is a way to overcome tumultuous times and any turmoil or fear or doubt or anger that we ever feel can simply dissolve itself in the power of that heart. I am so, so grateful to know this. I'm so, so grateful to feel it. I'm grateful to see it operating in this community and beyond these walls. For I know that each one of us is that perfect, heart-centered vessel of love intelligence. And so I release this word into the law, into that creative mind that always says yes, that knows no lack or limitation, that has never seen discord or fear. I let it go, and I let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you all. So now is that time in our service when we have an opportunity to support this community through your financial donations. We are a nonprofit 501c3 charitable organization, and we receive most of our funding through your generous donations. So if you are giving by check or cash today, we have our ushers ready to receive that. We also have a lot of electronic ways that you can give. We have Zelle, text to give, and you can give online through our website. Kaylee is in the back somewhere. I think she must have just run for a moment. She'll be back after service to help you if you need any assistance with that. So if you would, take out your offering. If you've already given or you're giving electronically, just put your hand over your heart. Otherwise, hold your offering over your heart. And repeat after me, this gift I give
This gift I give
goes forth from me,
goes forth from me.
does amazing and miraculous things,
Does amazing, miraculous things.
and returns to me in kind,
Returns to me in kind.
pressed down and overflowing.
Pressed down and overflowing.
And so it is.
So it
We're
is.
Singing,
All I give.
all I give. All right. Words are on the TV.
Here we go.
All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me, blesses me abundantly. All I give comes back to me and blesses me abundantly.
And offer our blessings for this generous donations. We are so, so grateful. And we know that every single cent of this fund goes out from within our communities and blesses and multiplies itself abundantly through every heart, hand, mind that it touches. We are immensely blessed, and so it is. Thank you. All right, we have Karen back for a special treat. Karen. Let's hear from Karen again.
Thank you for that awesome sermon. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Absolutely. Thoughts are things, powerful things. And this song really taps into that. It's from the film The Greatest Show on Earth. And I just fell in love with this song. And it's a reminder that we are the designer of our thoughts. We are the designer of our dreams. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care if they call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. there's a house we can build. Every room is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. See, I don't care if they call me crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. We may be right, we may be wrong, but I wanna bring you along to the world I see, to the world we close our eyes to see, we close our eyes to see. Every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are taking me away. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Beautiful, perfect song for the talk, too. And one of my favorite movies. Thank you so much. All right, we just have a couple of announcements, very brief announcements here. Today is our Women's Circle. We have a special guest speaker. Maria de la Cruz is coming to speak. Judy, what's she speaking about?
Women's empowerment, mainly financial intelligence combined with emotional.
All right, financial intelligence combined with emotional intelligence for empower women. Yay. Sounds like a good talk. On Thursday, we have our Forever Young group. This is about pro-aging, not anti-aging, so come and join us if you like, right here in the sanctuary at 11 o'clock. And then, of course, I announced this last week. We have sign-out sheets in the foyer there for anyone that might be interested in doing a performance piece. We have musicians, singers, poets, writers, anybody that would be interested in sharing your talents with us, comedians. I don't know, whatever. Well, we've had lots of different things in the past, haven't we, Justin? So anything that you might be interested in, go ahead and put your name on there, and we'll give you a call about that. We are also doing a visual arts component to it also, so if you are a visual artist of any sort and would like to display your work, there's a sign-up sheet for that. And in addition to that, we're having a craft sale, whatever, where you can make things and sell them here. So more information will be coming about it, but the sign-out sheets are up there, and we'll make sure you get on the list. It's on the table with the yellow tablecloth right out in the foyer. All right, so our prayer room has moved. It is now on this side of the building. We've divided it up because we were thinking it needed a little bit more privacy in there, so we have place for two people to pray at one time with a divider in between the two things. So it's right outside this door on this side of the room. Our practitioners will be available for prayer after service if you'd like your own individual spiritual mind treatment. And so, as I said, I've been thinking a lot about how, as a community, we can help foster the sense of, healing the country, bringing the country back to a place of balance and peace and not so much division and so forth. So I was moved to pull out a prayer that was written in 1953, published in the Science of Mind magazine by our founder, Ernest Holmes. We have 15 weeks between now and the election, 15 Sundays. And so each Sunday as a closing, we are going to share a different spiritual mind treatment written by one of our practitioners or myself to close out our service. These are non-political, non-partisan, all about healing the sense of separation, promoting equity, freedom, inclusion, all of the things that we espouse to be for. That's what the prayers are going to be about. So today we're going to close with the prayer for my country by Ernest Holmes. You have a copy of it that you were given as you came in. If you didn't get one, please see Kaylee in the back. Justin has put together a beautiful rendition of America the Beautiful to play in the background. So if you would, you can, the words are on the screen, but you can close your eyes if you'd like to. Believing in the divine destiny of the United States of America and the preservation of liberty, security, and self-expression, I offer this, my prayer for the country. I know that divine intelligence governs the destiny of the United States of America, directing the thought and the activity of all who guide its affairs. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are the gifts of freedom and are the divine heritage of everyone in this country. I know that success, prosperity, and happiness are now operating in the affairs of every individual in this country. I know that divine guidance enlightens the collective mind of the people of this country, causing it to know that economic security may come to all without the loss of either personal freedom or individual self-expression. I know that no one can believe or be led to believe that freedom must be surrendered in order to ensure economic security for all. The all-knowing mind of God contains the answer to every problem which confronts this country. I know that every leader of this country is now directed to this all-knowing mind and has the knowledge of a complete solution to every problem. And each is compelled to act upon this knowledge to the end that abundance, security, and peace shall come to all. And I know that this spiritual democracy shall endure, guaranteeing to everyone in this country personal liberty, happiness, and self-expression. And so it is. Amen. I encourage you to read this throughout the week. We have it posted on our e-blast. It's on signs. You've taken your copy home with you. We're going to put it on Facebook. So please share it. Remember this truth. Have a beautiful and blessed week, and we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.